Class, all right, class, settle down, settle down. So I hear, hold on a second. There we go. Now I see that oh man, much better. Now I see you want to learn how to make videos. Oh, the process is quite simple actually. All you need to do is travel to an exotic country, buy the very best gear that you can, which won't be good enough ever because it's not the best. Spend more money. Record Himalayan footage of an unladen swallow during the sunset midday while the aurora borealis lights are available and blasting overhead. And there you go. You've just made a successful movie. Any questions now? Good? Thank you. I'll see your tuition at the door. Jokes aside, the process to making a video is actually a lot easier than you think. I have my cat here, so if you hear random screaming or purring, you know who to blame. But a lot of beginners make very simple mistakes. And it involves 5 simple elements, which I'm going to explain to you in 7 minutes or less. Let's get the timer on the clock. Starting... now. So, the 5 basic elements to making a video. As a lot of very snobby people like to say, the basics on the 5 elements of filming is narrative, cinematography, sound, mise-en-scene, and editing. In reality, it's actually a lot more simple than that. You have story, you have sound, lighting, camera gear, and finally, editing software. Let's talk about each one of those real quick. Story is pretty self-explanatory. You don't have a film, video, or podcast if there's no basic principle that surrounds it. What are your characters doing? What is the point of this video? Is it to entertain people? Is it to educate people? Is it to answer a question? Those things are going to make or break your video. Prime example, I'm making this video so I can educate you guys and answer the question of how do I get started making a YouTube video or a podcast. Now that you have that done, let's move on to the next point. Sound. Sound is way more important than video, and a lot of people for some reason don't seem to understand this. You will easily forgive a video that looks like pixelated garbage but sounds crisp because at least you can tell what they were trying to point at. Whereas a video that is beautiful and sounds like hot garbage will most likely make you think that they didn't put enough effort into budgeting for sound. That's why Netflix will actually drop the quality of the video resolution rather than the audio first, because people are much more forgiving when it comes to sound than it is for visuals. That's why podcasts exist and video essays. If they can work and don't even require a camera, you need to make sure that you step your audio quality up. Next, we have lighting. Again, this is going to be way more important than what the quality of your camera is, because based on the position of your lighting can help to determine what the mood and what the direction is of your character or scene for a particular shot. When you think of the bad guy in most heist films or the monster in most horror movies, they're usually shown in a particular type of light, and that's to inflict some type of emotion onto the audience. That is, the fact that they are a big menacing presence. So learn how to get your lighting down, or upgrade your lighting before you touch that camera and see how much of a difference it'll make. Now we can get to what a lot of people focus on, the camera. Now, the camera doesn't really matter 9 times out of 10, whether you're using a Cinegrade camera like an Arri Alexa LF, or if you're using your iPhone, even if it's an 8 Plus that's cracked and the speaker doesn't work anymore. You can still make a pretty high quality video as long as you learn the principles of how to shoot film, how to position your characters, lighting, sound, all of that stacks on top of each other and come into play. So I'm going over the cameras very lightly because that's what a lot of people think is the key to success as long as it looks good. That's not really true. Hence why, even though you could have millions of dollars in production with beautiful cameras, you still have a lot of piles of work as far as movies. And finally, editing software. I've saved this one for last because, well, if you haven't completed the other steps, chances are you probably don't have anything to edit in the first place. So you kind of have to do that first. But for editing software, there's no real wrong choice when it comes to what type of software you want to use. So just go with whatever you think works best for you and what you feel comfortable with. as long as it's not part of the Adobe Cloud Suite, because I will never pay money every single month just to use a piece of software. I'm sorry. You just can't get me to do it. It's like, why is it so hard to try and own something when you pay money for it? I don't care. So with that being said, let me know what type of things you guys want me to dive on and flesh out in more detail in the comments below. Let me know if you like this video, if you learned a little bit of something, or maybe it inspired you to start making some content of your own. Like and subscribe in order to keep this flow of juicy content coming. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm not gonna lie, I look pretty good in glasses. Like, obviously not with the rim light in the way, but like, I think I could pull it off. Like that one nerdy guy who became a doctor, or maybe like is in a Ponzi scheme or something like that.